They said for this week's coastline, Lee, you're going west. West of Bournemouth. So here I am for tomorrow's official opening of the Parkstone Gun Club. They want new members. Oh. Now then, if you're wondering about the priest here, this is Dennis Coote, and he's the president of the gun club. Dennis, how can you be a priest and shoot guns?
Well, I used to shoot all my life. I used to shoot game. Then when I was ordained, I stopped shooting animals and birds and took up shooting targets instead.
And what do the parishioners think of it?
I don't think they know.
And from Poole we move to Worthing, where you can test your skill in the bowling alley in a challenge shield competition. It starts on Sunday at 10:30. Bobbies will be off the beat for a charity football match at Hove on Sunday. They'll be lining up against a Southern Sound side, including members of Brighton Football Club. The first Wokingham half marathon takes place on Sunday. Among the personalities having a run will be Jimmy Savile. In Hampshire, an attempt will be made to establish a new world record for pushing a ton of bricks in a wheelbarrow. It'll be made by Ben Reed of Romsey, who's better known as the Nailbender. Meanwhile, back at the Parkstone Ranch, the 50-odd club members meet here every Monday, Wednesday and Thursday evening in the clubhouse they built themselves. New members are always wanted. Ages range from 14 upwards. Both sexes are welcome too, in one of the few sports where men and women can compete on equal terms. They're a friendly lot at Parkstone, and anyone can pop down to see if they fancy taking target shooting up as a hobby. There are, of course, strict controls on the issue of firearm certificates. The police do these in consultation with gun clubs. I wondered, once in, how safe the sport really was.
Absolutely safe. It is safer than any of the motor sports. The safety rules are such that nothing happens whereby a person could get in front of a gun with a live round in it. It's 100% safe.
We'll be back to the gun club in a minute for a bit of target practice. That's after some more events in the south. If you want to meet the TVS Afternoon Club personalities, turn up at Reading's Butt Centre on Monday. Appearing will be Carly D'Aziz, Jill Cochran and Lucy Morgan. Sooty will be on stage from Monday at Worthing Pavilion. It's a special half-term attraction with the show starting at 3 in the afternoon. And there are 2 bridal fairs in the south, one at Chichester Lodge on Sunday and one at the Royal Norfolk in Bognor on Wednesday. And don't forget, girls, it is leap year. And now this weekend's travel news. On the railways, there'll be delays on services out of Portsmouth Harbour of up to 90 minutes on Sunday, though the norm should be around 30 minutes. Delays too on the Reading-Waterloo service, Brighton-Victoria-London Bridge and some connecting services. Best advice, ring your local station. On the roads, a fairly smooth weekend's in prospect. Apart from existing workings, expect delays on the A27 at Fontwell between 8 and 4 on Sunday. And now, partners, the showdown at Parkstone. It's easy when you know how. Don't forget the official opening of Parkstone Gun Club in Poole at high noon tomorrow. See you for Coastline next week.
Lee Van Peck, absolutely first class. I love those heroes, don't you, in those spaghetti westerns? Mean, moody and magnificent, which is really a perfect description for our next star. And certainly, sartorially, you are looking magnificent tonight, aren't you? Is that something new?
City Bell's doing out this way.
Heard you were standing still, all right? And we're just plumb out of breath getting here.
This Friday at 7, South America's very hot for the A-Team on a rescue mission.
have got shallower and the shallow places have got much deeper. It's sort of setting out to be, I've always said this before, it will be one great lake in time.
The shifting sands of the harbour can be an embarrassment for the unsuspecting yachtsmen. Sandy's frequently telephoned wives to tell them that their husbands will be late for tea, and he spotted them high and dry on the sandbank, as often happens.
You've got to buy a chart to be on the safe side, and if you can't read it, well then you are stuck on the mud.
Of course, you can get through on these special channels which are marked, and you've got your own one up here.
Yes, Will's Cut, yes, it's named after me. It's a channel I've been using since 1945, nearly every day, coming through, and with my propeller I've sort of dug it deeper, so where in the olden days you had to stop running half tide, you can now get through right through to low water now.
So that's through use?
Through use of other people as well as myself, yeah.
And how do you feel having this thing named after you?
Very proud, because it's something that's on the chart now that'll never be taken away.
Sandy's pleasure trips take visitors round Brownsea. The National Trust took over the running of the island in 1962, but before that it had always been in private hands. Originally it belonged to the estates of the Manor of Studland, and the first private owner bought it in 1722 for £300. Over the years, a succession of buyers must have paid considerably more than that for the 560 acres of wooded isolation. Brownsea Castle was built on the site of a blockhouse erected by Henry VIII in 1570 to defend the harbour, and in the heyday of the Edwardians it was a popular resort for high society and royal visitors, who may well have looked across the sandbanks to see Marconi set up his aerials to start his first wireless experiments. And on the quay he treated the islanders to what must have been the first outside broadcast. But perhaps Brownsea is most famous as the place where Baden-Powell started the Boy Scout movement.
If you looking just up in that first patch of grass, that's where the first Boy Scout camp was there in 1907, 76 years ago, because last year they had the 75th Jamboree, the year of the Scout, and they had a big Scout camp with about 26 different countries taking part.
So you bringing people across must have brought a lot of scouts in your time.
Oh yes, thousands, yes. Ever since the island been opened in 1964, the scouts have been coming over.
One of your competitors racing past over there.
Yeah, not giving us a shout that they are to get here.
Now you've got a scouting award, haven't you? Tell me about it, because I know I'll have to twist your arm.
Yeah, yes I have, yes. I got the Silver Acorn, which I went up to get to Windsor Castle on April about 2 years ago. It's for my work for the Scouts actually. Size award is something you can get that's not in the Scouts yet.
And do you wear that?
Well, I wore it after Primer's funeral the other day. He was one of the last Scouts alive. There's just one more left now, and of the original Scouts that went on the island.
But nevertheless, it's a lovely place.
It's a lovely island without even the Scout camp. This is what we're looking at now. Is all the camping area. It's 25 acres. Given to the Scouts Association for Boy Scouts and Girl Guides to camp on.
Sandy maintains that his real trade is fishing, and in the winter he empties his boat of people and hopefully fills it with fish.
I do the simple job in the summer when I should be fishing, and in the winter I go out in all the bad weather.
What sort of fish do you get these days?
Well, the last year or so we've had a nice few sprats back, but we catch troll fish, quite a number of boats go lobster catching, crabs, bass fishing, and everything.
They always say there are too many fishing boats and not enough fish. Is that still the case?
Well, that is getting the case now, yes. It didn't used to be, but that is getting the case now. There's too many boats chasing the fish. That's definitely right, yes.
Rather like the farmers, you know, you're always saying that, you fishermen, aren't you?
No, this is definite now. No, they used to say it to keep people away from fishing, but now it is the case now. Too many boats.
But you've got it made, really, haven't you? Because
You keep on saying that.
Yeah, you have got it made.
I was
Because
a millionaire just now.
in the old days,
Yeah.
in the old days, you used to have to row. I bet you never had to do. Did you?
Yeah,
Did you
yeah.
have to do that?
When I started, honestly, it was just we had 3 cells on the boat. FMOD, the number was PE1. I got the same number for this one, PE1, and we used to have 3 cells, and then we got a 7-horse engine, 7-horse Kelvin. That took 1 cell away. But occasionally you had to roll what they called a lee oar, pull her up. Oh yeah, and then I was in the rolling lifeboat as well, and I was in that one 10 years. That was rolling. I'm the last one left of the crew now, so.
Tell me about that. Where did you row to? How far
anywhere,
would you row?
wherever a ship's in trouble in those days. Not like now. You know, they were in real trouble in those days. It's not like the yachts. We went to a coal ship just outside the harbour. The Wines led there all night. But the roughest trip was in the harbour in 1934, September. We got washed ashore, actually. The lifeboat did. Made quite a stir in the papers that said, lifeboat men come home be bus. But that was me dad and a few more. They chickened out, but the toughest of us, we walked ready for the tide to go out and walked ashore. Oh, yes.
So you lost your
boat?
boat?
That was a severe. The lifeboat, yeah. We got rolling. As you rolled, the oars blew out and you hit the block next behind you. Yeah, we put the anchor down and we still couldn't get to the ship we were trying to get to. And that was inside the harbour.
Are you glad you've had all these experiences?
Yeah,
to
very
look
much
back on?
so. Oh, yes. Yes, it's quite nice to look back on everything. Yes, truly. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'd do it all again. People say they wouldn't do all these things again, but I'd do it all again, yes. Yeah.
West of Poole is some of the most beautiful coastline of Dorset, and it's backed by countryside that's not frequently seen. At the beginning of the war, the army commandeered the land for gunnery practice, and although open to the public most weekends, the army has never relinquished its control. Nestling in the valley behind Warborough Bay was the village of Tyneham, a self-contained community of farm workers, fishermen, and staff of the Elizabethan manor house. In 1940, the army moved in and the villagers were evacuated, never to return. Today, the street of cottages, the rectory, and the manor are derelict. Helen Taylor was 2 years old when she came to live in the village in 1903, and 80 years later, she'd come back, joined by Arthur Grant, a Tyneham boy, who was once one of her Sunday school pupils.
It all looks a bit dilapidated now, Miss Taylor.
Oh, yes. But still it's tidied up wonderfully.
The army has tidied up the village. The stonemasons have squared up and cleaned the walls and removed the crumbling roofs. The telephone box that arrived in 1911 is still the same, except there's no working telephone now. But only the shelves remain that were once home to Shepherd Lucas, the shopkeeper who kept the boiled sweets and bootlaces, the ploughman, and the village schoolmistress.
And you think of the people who lived there, and they were all pleasant people, pleasant to live with, all sort of one family we were here.
You must have had a few tears, though, when the army said, off you go.
Oh, well, yes, because we were all worried, everybody worried, because it was only a month to find somewhere to go. And then we were still waiting for people, to, Wareham people, and that to find us something. We tried ourselves, but other people moved out the year before from Arn. They'd taken most of the houses round about, so that there was very few left.
Let's brave the wind and go round the corner. Where did you live,
Yes,
Arthur?
well, actually, I don't remember the evacuation because I was at sea.
Oh,
yes.
He was away then.
Yeah.
The school looks in a bit better condition than the rest of the place, doesn't it?
It's very smart now.
They've put up, haven't they?
Oh, they have.
Happy memories, Arthur, of school days?
Oh, yes. My word. I remember the old group being taken here.
Yes.
Oh, yes, it is.
I should have thought there's some really happy memories here with, you know, coming in the cold winter mornings and scurrying inside.
Oh,
Anything like that?
yes. The old, what was the name of that stove, Miss Taylor?
Tortoise.
Oh, the old
Coke
tortoise.
stove.
Oh, yes, Coke stove.
Yes, that was always lit and warm for us.
Were there any traditions? I mean, did the children have to sing hymns in the morning, or did they
Oh,
take
yes.
assembly? And...
We started off, well, first of all, we, if it was fine, of course, we all, about 24 when I went to school.
What, 24 in the whole school?
School.
Yes.
And at 9 o'clock, we all had to assemble here and stand in single file. And the banner, the flag, the biggest boy or the biggest girl would bring the flag and out and stand at just about there. And then we all had to march by, and as we passed the flag, we all had to salute the flag.
Did you?
And walk into school, single file, yes.
It's a bit military.
I forget whether that was done at midday. You can't remember because you didn't do it before.
What about the boys? They used to get up conquering up these trees.
Yes, I remember the old conker tree
I
here.
think there was a rush in the morning for the boys to get here first, to get the governors.
Yes. I see it's still there. Surprisingly enough, I can remember my first school day, being dressed in jersey and tie we wore in those.
Terrified going through this door. Let's go through the door again and see if you feel terrified this time, shall we? Boy, it's windy, isn't it?
Oh.
After you.
And the old hook's still here.
No, I'm sorry they took the hooks.
Do you remember we brought a photograph with us over there, look? Just have a look and see if you can remember any of the children that were on there.
Oh, yes, I'm here too.
You're here,
Yes,
eh? Where are you?
there. I'm there.
Right, let's have a
And
look.
then that's one of Winnie Minton.
Willie Minton.
Winnie.
Winnie.
Winnie, she's passed on, oh dear. That's Annie Godden. Now, she lived away in the cottages across the fields that belonged to the Boltington farm. They had to come across all those fields every morning. Miss Woodman liked us to wear white pinafores at school, nice clean white pinafores. That's why you see them here in white.
Who's the chap he had the privilege of holding the slate?
That's little Willie Minton. Unfortunately, when he left school, he was out in a rowing boat and the boat capsized and he was drowned. His father was the milkman.
When the time came for Miss Taylor to leave school, her first job was to help her mother with the laundry for the big house. She later did all the sewing as well.
Chairs and things.
Yeah.
Of course, this is your old house now, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
Working with her mother, running the Sunday school and organising the annual outing gave Miss Taylor all she wanted in life. For 27 years she lived at home with her parents in a house that now looks derelict and empty, but for her is full of memories.
That was our entrance door. And this side, that was a little sitting room, cosy little room with settee and easies and the china cabinet and the piano. But it made a very comfortable little room in there. Oh yes, I can remember it all.
Arthur Grant's house is also derelict. His father was the estate woodman, and Arthur's first job was under footman at the manor. Once a beautiful country house that stood for over 3.5 centuries. But now little remains of its past glory.
So what was through... That was the door, was it?
That was the front door all the guests were received. In fact, there was a cellar below.
How did they speak to you in those days? Did they say, Arthur, go and fetch us a...
No, it was invariably was Grant. They just used your...
Good name, that, really, for a come fetch me, isn't it? Grant,
yes.
do this, Grant, do that. So this was your very first job, then, eh?
Yes, yeah, I started here after school, leaving school, shall I say, and I stayed with this family called Tsar until the lease ran out. Then I went to sea in, I think, the latter part of 1938.
Get a better view from round the back, I think.
Oh, yes, I'll show you more.
So through the grand front door, and where would that take us?
Now we're in the in the library now. This was the library.
Good view out of the window.
Yes, my word.
Yeah. And then what? Where was the door into the next room?
This led into the oak hall.
What was that?
Oak
Panel
hall. Yeah,
wood?
this is absolutely panelled from floor to ceiling,
Yeah.
which led out through to the terrace. And I recall the date 1583 above the doorway there.
What about the rest of the place?
This led into the drawing room, and I can recall the beautiful fireplace there.
What, just there?
Just about there.
Don't you think that it's such a shame to see a grand country house like this pull down to nothing, ruins?
I think it's really tragic to see this shell ruin of such a beautiful country house and its surrounding grounds just left.
Apart from the school, the only building that remains intact is the medieval church of St Mary the Virgin. Every Sunday, the villagers, the farmers and the staff from the manor house would meet to worship. It was the focal point of village life.
I remember when the families always came regularly to church and always had their best clothes on. We all had a familiar service and the hymns and all that we knew. Everybody enjoyed in. And in the gallery at the end, the young men used to sit there. We looked forward to it from week to week. My father looked after the church here for a good many years. He had to light the lamps and see to the fire. And everybody had oil lamps. And in fact, here in church, they had to be filled every week. So we had to fill our oil lamps every night.
So you actually had lamps that you carried around to see your way at night?
Oh, we had hurricane lanterns, those who had them. If not, we trudged to church with the candle lanterns.
It's quite difficult to imagine what this place was like without newspapers, without television, without even got cars, didn't they, some people?
Oh, no, but then, of course, there was the horse transport. The farmers, they had their sort of carts to go into market every week. We had a pony and trap, and we used to go in and fetch our groceries every week. And anyone who wanted to go to the station or anything, we could take them along. And we used to use it for everyone we wanted to go out. If not, then, well, we used our bicycles. Nearly everybody had a bicycle.
Were there radios in those days?
Oh, no, until the accumulator things came. Earphones, remember? Earphones, and then it worked with accumulators. And, of course, they had to be changed about every fortnight so that they were delivered from Swanage here in the village. But usually down at the bay, well, they'd be left at our house and I'd take them down and bring back their empties and on my bicycle because they were heavy things to carry. So that's how we managed, helping one another through.
What would you say your fondest memories are of this place?
Oh, I don't know. In childhood days was the Christmas. We had the Christmas tree from the big house, and we always had presents from it, and then a nice tea in the schoolroom. And then through the years there was the Sunday school outing we'd have, and different things to keep us occupied and happy. And we had our little concerts in the winter time.
Magic lantern shows as well.
Oh yes, we had magic lanterns shown in the schoolroom. And later when we had and in church we had them at in Lent time.
So all in all, you've got some nice memories, haven't you?
Oh yes, we've got quite nice memories of our young days here.
So although the village of Tyneman is now deserted,
You've still got something here. This is where your mother's buried,
this
isn't
is
it?
where my mother was buried. Yes.
Does it...
1917.
How do you feel about Tyneham? I mean, eventually, when it all catches up with us, would you like to come back here and rest?
Well, yes, I think so, because it's nice and quiet and it's quite peaceful here.
Have you thought about it?
Around. Sometimes I do, yes. It's quite nice in the same old churchyard where I used to come week after week to do the flowers on the graves.
At the same time next week, Dennis discovers the life of a gentleman farmer isn't all Range Rovers and common market subsidies. More a struggle to survive while balancing commerce with conservation. That's The Dorsetman, next Monday at 6:50. And this Friday in the Southern Life series, Pound Around looks at the days when a fit man with quick fists could fight his way to the top through a job in the travelling boxing booths. That's at 10:15 this Friday. In 50 minutes, Panorama investigates allegations of extreme right-wing infiltration in the Conservative Party. But now on BBC One, the Dukes of Hazzard.
Now, y'all might remember that because of their probation, Bo and Luke ain't supposed to cross the Hazzard County line. But this is an exception. They've come to capital cities because they volunteered to become big brothers to an underprivileged teenager by treating him to a week of positive influence of Hazzard County. That's him. And he's trouble.
Yeah, this looks like the place, all right.
Hey, what's that kid's name again?
Andy Slocum. From what I can tell, he's had a pretty rough time of it. Been bounced around from foster home to foster home. We're supposed to provide him someone to trust, someone to lean on, give him a little head start in life.
Well, I reckon that makes him about as underprivileged as you can get. Let's go get him. Got it.
Big brother, you boy Luke Duke? Yes, sir. You got it. I'm Luke, and this here's my cousin Bo.
Howdy.
Yeah, we talked to Miss Brooks on the phone. She said we could sign up for a little brother together.
Yeah, pick him up about 3.
His name's Andy Slocum. We came for Andy Slocum.
Good luck. Is he inside? Nope. Oh, is that your orange car out there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Not anymore. Andy's stealing it.
Well, this one's off to a rip-roaring start.
Somebody to trust. Somebody to lean on.
At least you got...
The police have discovered some of the jewel boxes taken in an £800,000 gems raid in West Sussex. The jewels were stolen at the weekend from a secluded and well-guarded mansion in Rogate, belonging to a wealthy Jordanian. The boxes turned up on a nearby A3 road on a stretch between Godalming and Hindhead. A young American girl is flying home hoping that British surgeons have saved her sight. 14-year-old Renee Vagonis has a rare eye disease which has left her with only 50% vision. Doctors in America said surgery at the King Edward VII Hospital in Windsor was her only hope. And in Newsnight later this evening, we'll have the latest news from Beirut. As Menachem Begin confirms he's to resign as Israeli Prime Minister, we'll be examining the effects of his departure on prospects for peace in the Middle East. In London, we'll be talking to former Foreign Secretary David Owen. We'll have reaction from the Palestine Liberation Organization, and from Jerusalem we'll be hearing from a leading parliamentary supporter of Mr. Begin on who is likely to emerge as his successor. That's in Newsnight at 10:55 here on BBC Two.
Well, now the weather and central and eastern parts of England will be mostly dry tomorrow with sunny periods.
Wales, western parts of England and eastern Scotland will also be dry and bright for much of the time, but it will become cloudy later with rain in places by evening. Northern Ireland and western Scotland will be mostly cloudy, and after a dry start, outbreaks of rain are likely during the afternoon and evening. Temperatures will be similar to today's, but it will become windy in northwestern parts, and that's the weather. Starting tonight, the Victorian melodrama East Lynne, starring Gemma Craven, Martin Shaw and Jane Asher.
Good evening, Mrs. Hare. Justice Hare. Good evening, Barbara.
Mr. Kane is having a bumper.
Thanks to Lady Isabel. She's an angel.
I've heard from Cornelia, who said she had an angel's faith. Did you?
I believe I did.
East Lynne is a story with everything: passion, villainy and star-crossed love.
Well, she shall marry the first who asks her. I'll take care of that.
Won't be me, I'm afraid.
I didn't suggest it should be you.
I do not flirt. I have never flirted. I leave that to married women.